Hey, it's Pat here, and today we're talking about the click and stick strategy. And my ultimate goal here today is to have you leave with the knowledge to make sure that the next time you create a YouTube video, you're going to take the best approach to give you the best chances for the best results. That means more views, more subscribers, more whatever it is you want to do with your videos. But the truth is, you can't get people to watch your videos. You can't get YouTube to want to share those videos with others and have those viral videos go to where they need to go using the algorithm, unless you nail this click and stick strategy. We're going to uncover that today, and I want to crowdsource from the viewers here who are live with us um, different ideas that we can brainstorm. If some of you have some ideas for videos that you have planned, to get them ready, because I might ask you about them, and then we're going to dive into, okay, what would I do? What would Pat do if I were to create a video like that in order to get people to click and then get people to stick? Sound good? Chat, let me know if that sounds cool with you. If you are in fact here in the room, say hello to your friends here. Thanks for showing up again today. And if you are watching the replay, hashtag team replay in the comment section. Let's get this party started.
This is the income stream to help you achieve your dream, all while we keep it clean. This is the income stream. It's the kind of show where you can come and go, but then you leave inspired with no fee required. The income stream with Pat Flynn.
Awesome. Welcome, Kathy. We got Dr. Severin Bryan, Gabriella, the Romer, Nalufar, Fit Over 50, Kathy, Dog Happy, Kathy, and Severin Bryan, and Campground Recon, B-Roy saying, got lucky with Shining Fates today. Just got to throw it in there. Thanks. I haven't gotten mine yet, so it's all good. Brand new Pokemon set that just came out. Fantastic. We got Chinad. I'm putting together a video about product photography. Cool. Thought we were doing makeovers today. ROFL. Well, I'm down to give you a makeover, Uncle Bill, if you want one. Why am I not seeing any comments? Kathy, I don't know. You might need to hit refresh. It could be just something weird that's going on. Mike in the house. We got Carlos Tacos. I need help starting my first video. I don't want it to be another cooking show. I want to do something different. Cool. So excited to chat about today. So what is this click and stick strategy? This is the way that I framed just any approach that we should all be taking here on Facebook, or excuse me, on YouTube specifically. YouTube is an interesting beast, and it could be your friend and it can be your foe. And I want it to be your friend. But in order for it to be your friend, like with our friends in real life, we have to provide value to it first. So how do we provide value to YouTube? Well, we need to give YouTube what it wants. And what does YouTube want? YouTube wants people to stay on YouTube. That's really what it comes down to. All things considered, if you're having trouble with your videos, what would YouTube want me to do right now? They want you to have people stick around and watch more videos, because the more people stick around because of you, the more money they will make because of ads. And the more that they see you helping them, the more, guess what, that they will help you. That's just what I've learned to come as what the really standard principle here is on YouTube. All decisions toward that. So when we break this down, this comes into two phases here for us to get people to click on our videos and to get people to stick on our videos. We've touched on a lot of these things before, but my goal here is to just simplify this stuff as much as possible. And as far as the strategy, I'm going to tell you about it. But then again, like I said, we want to crowdsource. We want to develop these in real time for people who are here in the live chat right now to see what we can do to brainstorm. It's not going to be like, there's no real like definite answer. There is a system of just trial and error coming up to the point where, okay, now we have a title and thumbnail for the video. Now let's get people to stick around in the video, right? So when you do just that, when you do just those kinds of things and you approach your videos in this way, again, on YouTube, the better it's going to be. There's different places on the web where you might be putting video where you don't necessarily want to take that kind of approach, or it might be seen a little bit differently or not as hardcore, if you will. Like if you're creating online course videos or a sales video, right? A sales video is still very important, but we're just talking YouTube here today, if that makes sense. Then Lufar says, nice shirt, thank you. A little late to the party, no worries, Dustin. We're just getting started today. We got Justin and Dustin in the house. Okay. I feel like it's a Friday because the kids have off tomorrow, and tomorrow feels like a weekend. So I keep thinking the kids have piano lessons today, but they don't. Yes, I'm trying to get better at thumbnails for sure. So great shirt. Thank you, Finns. I miss Disneyland, by the way. Okay, so first let's take this in two parts, the click and the stick. So the click part, two parts of this, the thumbnail and the title. All videos on YouTube The way that I want to approach it, and the way that I want you to think about this, is to start with the title and the thumbnail. Not even the meat or the content of the video. What would make a video that would get people to click on it? That's what the video that you want to create. So the title and the thumbnail, those two things sort of play with each other. We'll talk more about them in a minute. But that's all people have to work with. That's literally all people have to work with as far as whether or not they want to click on a video or not. The way videos get served in many different ways. All from many cases from a Google search. A person might actually search for a keyword. So they search on Google and they find the video there because Google, having ownership of YouTube, does display a lot of YouTube videos for different searches. YouTube will serve your video to people who search for certain keywords. So keyword research can be a key, but in most cases, the people who go big on YouTube are the ones who are getting found in the browse features, which means as people are looking around or as they go to their homepage on YouTube, YouTube displays your video to see if people want to click on it. You get those for free. You get a certain amount for free. And that's important to understand. YouTube's actually giving you an opportunity. They're going to try to see if people want your video or not. And when they display your video on people's home pages and browse windows, if you get people to click, guess what? YouTube's going to send it to even more people. But if right away the title and the thumbnail are not doing it, you're not going to get a ton of juice from it. Now, there are cases, there are moments when an old video that just was a dud out of nowhere will just blow up. And that's kind of the cool thing here too, because even a video that maybe didn't perform as well as you thought it would earlier, it could come out of nowhere and just the algorithm, for whatever reason, using their millions of different data points, decides that this is worth publishing and pushing right now. There are things we can do with our videos later after publishing to try and see how we might be able to better hone in on a title or thumbnail or other things to sort of spark the algorithm later. But again, title, thumbnail. And yeah, I said it earlier, start with a title and thumbnail that would make sense. So let me hear from you. What are some video ideas that you might want to pursue? We can kind of discuss this openly. I'm gonna pop in your comment up top and see if we can sort of like do this together. What would be the purpose of the video? And then we can try to create something that actually comes out of that as far as a title and a thumbnail together. I'm not going to go into title or a thumbnail design today. There's many different ways to create thumbnails, from Photoshop to Canva to hiring somebody to do it for you and whatever. There are some general rules that we'll talk about when we start talking about thumbnails in just a minute. But I do want to just discuss, okay, what would be an enticing title related to this kind of stuff that you want to teach, right? So Chinad here says product photography. Now, one thing that I do when I have like a topic in mind, and sometimes like that's where you start. But obviously, if we were to create a video, Chinad, that said product photography, it wouldn't do anything. If a person sees that, there's no reason for a person, unless they are compelled by the thumbnail enough, to go and click on that. We need to give people an idea of what it is that they're going to get here, or induce some sort of curiosity so that we can have people want to click on it and learn what it is that's going on, right? So using frameworks is a great place to start. And if you've been on YouTube for a while, I would look to see which frameworks already in your archive are already working for you. For example, with SPI and this channel here, most of the most popular videos are how-to videos. That's sort of bucket number one in terms of, okay, when YouTube sees that you come out with a how-to video, they push it out there for you and people find it, right? Plus, it's just inherently people love how-to type stuff because oftentimes people are looking for that or are interested in learning how something is made or how something is done. Another thing is 5 this or 7 that, using numbers. That's another different kind of framework, right? There's also frameworks like what I wish I'd known before doing product photography, right? But you want to, if you're covering some keywords, you want that to be in the beginning of the title. So I might say something like product photography, 5 mistakes newbies always make. Because something like that, 5 mistakes photographers always make, parentheses, and how to avoid them, right? Now it's very clear what this video is about. If you want to go down that route, you can come up with many different titles to add specifically to product photography. But I would also ask you, what about product photography are you hoping to achieve? What are you hoping to help people with? What is the ultimate goal of this video? Are you showing them how to do product photography? Well, if that's the case, then cool. How to do product photography could work. But there's so many other videos like that already. So how might you add or take a different stance on how to do product photography? It could be how to do product photography with an iPhone. And then, of course, the title should represent that. A product on a table, you holding a phone, or you holding a phone with the product on it and holding the product in the other hand or something like that, right? There's, again, no specific formula that works. But again, remember, people are scrolling up and down their feed and they're going to see this. And we're going to want to make sure that people stop, right? So something that in the title or thumbnail, represents the title could work. So that could be interesting. How to do it with just your iPhone could be really interesting. How to do product photography in less than 10 minutes. How to do product photography for, whoa, that was weird, for eBay, right? For how to make more money with product photography. Is it how to start a product photography business? I mean, just that one topic alone should be something that could potentially be extrapolated into dozens of different videos, right? So let me see how to do product photography beginning as a title. How to do product photography beginning to end as a title, maybe. Beginning to end, that kind of thing makes it seem like it's going to be a very extensive sort of tutorial, right? In which case, if it is an in-depth tutorial, everything you need to know about product photography, that can work. And then in the title or in the thumbnail, I would say product photography, make money with product photography, right? Because that's something enticing that people who want to learn about product photography would want to know about. And as you can tell, there's going to be a lot of elements of business related into that particular video if that were to be the case. But a lot of times you can take the in-depth approach, in which case, okay, the title and the thumbnail should represent that. Or is it the easy approach, right? In which case the title and thumbnail could recommend that. Maybe it's, I mean, again, product photography is a very general topic. You can go in it in several different kinds of ways, if that makes sense. So let's move on to another person. Oh, with no budget. That's a good one. How to do product photography with no budget. That one speaks to me because if I have no budget, then I'm going to want to watch that. In the thumbnail, I can imagine either, text that might say $0 photography, or having even a wallet that's empty. That can sort of represent that, or maybe a vector image of cash with an X around it. Just again to sort of supply that thought that okay, you don't need money in order for you to do product photography. I think that you could do 10 videos on this. One thing I will say is if you have a topic that can be turned into multiple videos, come out with at least one video on that topic every other week to keep that cycle going. You start to train the algorithm to go, oh, okay, you're going to have information about product photography. And then all those little videos will start to feed each other. A new video on that topic will spark the old one again. And that way you can go about that and make that happen. Okay, let's try another one. In Polish, what is Clubhouse and why you need it, says Clementina. So if this is a video, why is Clubhouse, what is Clubhouse and why you need it? I think that's a great one. A lot of people this is a hot topic right now. That's a little bit of similar to newsjacking. Newsjacking is a strategy where you take something that's just happened in the news and you try to become first to market to sort of talk about that. Now, you won't be the first person to talk about Clubhouse and why you need it, but I think that the thumbnail is going to be even more important in that case because there are a lot of videos about thumbnail or about Clubhouse and why you might need it right now. But I think that that's a perfect title that could absolutely work. And I think a thumbnail that shows Clubhouse's app, studies show that when you are talking about a software or an app, people are more likely to click on the thumbnail if there is a picture of that brand on the thumbnail itself. So just keep that in mind. If you're talking about a brand or anything, you want to use that app logo or the brand logo right there on the title, even if people don't know who you are, or in the thumbnail. Even if people don't know who you are, they're going to be potentially likely to click on it because that's a familiar brand to them, and that's where the familiarity comes from. So just keep that in mind. Okay. So as far as the thumbnail, again, just make sure to include that. All right, let's scroll up a little bit and see if I can get some more crowdsourced ideas here. Scrolled up too far. ALSW says, hello, first time seeing you live from El Salvador. Thanks for everything. You're welcome. Title and thumbnail, that is why I'm putting Robert Redford on all my thumbs in the future. Good looking man, for sure. Let's see. I found you looking for mics and podcast info, said Kelly. Thank you. Doing DIY mini softbox for travel tomorrow. Okay, DIY mini softbox for travel. Uncle Bill, I need to know a little bit more. What do you mean by softbox? Let me see if I can look this up, just so if I'm not necessarily thinking about the right thing right now. Softbox, DIY softbox. And remember, for Bill, you in particular, you are a personality blog or a personality YouTube channel, so you have to show up even right away. So softbox, okay. So this is for lighting purposes, right? I would say that instead of DIY mini softbox for travel, I think DIY softbox makes sense, but you know, that could work. But I think that it's also about lighting, right? Cheap lighting tricks for photographers should end up in there in some case, right? DIY mini travel softbox for easy photography on the go, right? And then your thumbnail, so that's more of a search-based title, which is totally fine, right? There's the idea of, you know, the sort of more curiosity-driven one that doesn't necessarily have to do with the product, and then the titles that all involve the specific product name and such. But very important, Uncle Bill, your thumbnail should show the end result of that softbox. And if you have the ability to show sort of the lighting, that could also happen as a result of using the softbox, or something interesting that shows like how you put it together. Your face should be on it as well, since that's very much your brand. I think that could work out really, really well. Softbox lighting, thank you. Software tutorials from Nilufar. Remember, if you're using software and you're showing it off, definitely have the logo on there for sure. And then what you can have is some word on the thumbnail that shows that this is one worth clicking on, right? A word on the thumbnail. Let me give you an example of a time when I did this. So if I go to YouTube and I look up Ecamm, or live streaming software for Mac, I'm gonna pop this here. Okay, you'll see my thumbnail for this software. Now, the reason I didn't put the software logo here is because people searching for this don't know what the options are. My target keyword here is live streaming software for Mac, right? Live streaming software for Mac. If the title was Ecamm Live Tutorial, then definitely you'd want to put Ecamm's logo on there and the words Ecamm. But as you can see, live streaming for Mac connects to the keywords live streaming software for Mac, but then I put just the word easy. On the thumbnail, I also had these red borders around different parts that you don't even know what they are, but guess what? They make you want to click on it, and that's why I did it that way. As opposed to, let's do ConvertKit. ConvertKit is a email service provider. Look at these ads now. Those didn't exist before. So here we go. Number one, ConvertKit's logo right there, pointing to it and making it very simple. So if you're going to do software tutorials and it's about the software, and the approach you're taking is, here's a demo of this software and a tutorial on how to use it, meaning people would likely already know this exists, then you want to do the logo for sure. If it is, in fact, the opposite approach, like the other way, then you saw how I did that. Best Sony A6100 settings. Let's type that in here. Best A6100 settings. Good keyword. Now let's see what is intriguing here. So the number one video, this is what I was expecting for a thumbnail. Super close up behind it so that the camera is still somewhat recognizable. And we're getting into like the settings, and there's a little Dogecoin guy right there, right? Now this one's really interesting because it has this old guy on it, and that's kind of cool too because this is probably him and his brand. Look at that, 114,000 subscribers, and that's pretty intriguing. Here is 5-minute Sony camera setup with a very sort of dynamic thumbnail from my friend Sydney. But as you can tell, this doesn't necessarily show me a lot about the actual setup and the settings, right? So 5-minute setup guide. This is a nice picture, but it doesn't really represent sort of what's happening on the camera itself. So look, this one would be one here where, you know, it just shows off the camera. Whether you put your face on it or not, that's really up to you. But I would have something similar to this, maybe even more detailed, more up close, and maybe an arrow pointing to something that is making me go, well, what is that? Why is that important? If that makes sense. Cool. Let's go. Idea. How does your child know the 10 commandments? I'm thinking of adding videos for grownups related to my channel to escape made for kids restriction. Yeah, that could be really interesting, Grandma Goody. I think that could be a fun experiment to see if you can have any videos sort of take off that you know are specifically not for kids, because you can take that restriction off for certain videos, and that could potentially bring people into your platform. I really love that idea, and yeah, I'm actually sitting like Uncle Roger right now just because I feel like this is, when I'm in workshop mode, I get very like just kind of hunkered down in this way versus like presenter mode, if that makes sense. So sorry if that's a little weird that I'm like resting on my knee right now, but that's what I'm doing. So let's talk about that video really quick. So for Grandma Goody, does your child know the 10 commandments? Title-wise, that's not bad. I think that doesn't necessarily make me want to click on it. It may require a little bit of workshopping, right? So let's think about this. If you're scrolling through and you say, does your child know the 10 commandments? That to me is just kind of a yes or no question, right? If I already said yes, then I'm kind of moving on already, right? I think a better title could be something like, does your child actually know the 10 commandments? That word actually makes me go, well, I thought they did, but maybe they don't. Well, what do you mean by that? I need to click on that, right? I also see a video that maybe is, again, I don't know the theme behind this. I know the theme, but I don't know the approach you're taking with this video versus a video like how to teach your kids the 10 commandments, or the top 3 commandments to teach your child, how to teach your child this specific commandment. I mean, I could see a lot of those kinds of things going on. There's an idea here from Mike, how the 10 commandments help children grow. It's not a bad one. I really like that one. How the 10 commandments affect your child's future. That one, to me, it would be a little bit more intriguing, right? Pop quiz, 10 commandments. I worry about the person who sees that to go, well, first of all, pop quizzes are never popular, right? We don't want the pop quiz in class, right? Because that's like, a negative term, really. I would even say, commandment quiz. Can you guess Or no, that doesn't play well. Grow your kids with the 10 Commandments. Yeah, I think posing a question would get me to want to answer it, right? So, like Grandma Goody, you had a good start here. Does your child know the 10 Commandments? But does your child exemplify? I'm not. That's not a good word, but I think okay. My brain is going on this juxtaposition between like knowing them and actually behaving them, or actually, what's the word I'm looking for? Acting them or living them, living the commandments. It's going to take some workshopping. Now, as far as a thumbnail, it would obviously have to do with the title. So if it was, does your child actually know the 10 Commandments? That could be something that could make me want to click on it. But if the thumbnail had a child on it who was just like not sure, and maybe a parent holding a Bible potentially, or just chest view of a Bible on one side and then a child on the other side, like I'm not sure, or even a word that says I don't know, that would then connect with, I think, a parent who might go, wow, this, maybe my child doesn't actually know. Or maybe the child saying I'm not sure or something like that. I think another idea that I see in the chat here could be something related to, are you being a good example of the 10 Commandments to your kids, right? And then the thumbnail could be, if you take one of those commandments that perhaps maybe is a little bit more visual or illustrative, and have an example of a person doing the opposite of what they should be doing, and then a kid watching that. Now we're seeing the consequences of what happens if we don't ourselves know that we are actually, in fact, living the 10 Commandments and being a good example to our kids, right? Amit says, what mic are you using for this live? I'm using a Rode NTG5. So it's a little shotgun mic that's right here, actually. It shouldn't even be on camera, honestly. It should be right there. It was just like popping out for a second. See how it just like came in right there? I want it as close as possible without being on camera. So we're right there. And that allows me to get it off of camera, but have it still sound great. Cool. Yeah, or holding the 10 Commandments could be interesting. So I hope that helps, Grandma Good, at least like get into my brain a little bit. How about benefits from God's top 10? I would say maybe it's like top 10 benefits of learning and teaching. Top 10 benefits of teaching the 10 Commandments. And they don't necessarily have to be one for one. They could be just like, here are the benefits of, maybe top 5 benefits of teaching the 10 Commandments. There we go. That sounds that rolls off the tongue nicely. Top 5 maybe top 5. Yeah, I think that could work. Okay. Let's talk about Stardust Studio. Says, I'm halfway through scripting my next video. What's your next video? Stardust Studio, I'm curious. So we're talking about, again, just the first part of this equation, which is the click, right? There's the click and the stick, but the click is so important. I sometimes spend more time on the thumbnail and title than I spend actually on the video itself. It is that important. It is absolutely that important. I went to a conference a couple years ago in Los Angeles, and Mr. Beast was on stage. Got to meet him afterwards, and he's a really nice guy, actually. Very humble and very, very smart. He said that, I mean, in fact, his hour-and-a-half presentation was mostly about the thumbnails and the titles, right? If it's not worth clicking on, why would a person click on it? Right? It's so important to know that. It's so important to know that. So the second half of this is the stick. And we've talked about the stick before several times in different ways. There was the tiptoe strategy that I've shared, but the stick is really important. And on YouTube in particular, the first 30 seconds of a video, you have to really convince a person, even within the first 10 seconds, that this is the video that they've needed to watch this the whole time, or to intrigue them enough to want to continue to watch all the way through, right? So it can be as big as just the topic itself is worth watching, and then the video itself in the beginning just basically tells people, in this video, this is what we're going to do. It's so big that you need to stick around, right? So there's inherent curiosity within that, right? So if I were to go to a video that a videographer or a person how to guarantee profit on your next client animation, that's really good. And the title thumbnail can be perhaps, you know, how to guarantee profit. It could be a before and after. It could be a really good close-up of a spreadsheet on one that says revenue, expenses, profit, and the profit circled for client work. It could be an animated thing that you have had on the channel before, sort of holding up a sign that says like profitable or something like that. That could be really interesting. But let's go to who I know. This video here, I'm going to play this video for you. And like, yes, he has pretty extravagant stuff, right? We don't have that kind of money to spend, but we have the ability to create just as intriguing beginnings to our videos, right? So let's play this video. And I remember watching this video for research the other day, and I ended up watching all of it because I just couldn't stop watching. He has those videos that do that to you. So let's watch this video. Oh, are we on an ad? Okay, we are on an ad. Okay, one sec. Let's go over here. Let's go over here. And let's go. Okay.
I literally bought every single item in 5 stores.
Starting with this one. All right, boys, fill up the carts. I want everything in the store.
Do these zebra pants count as everything?
If it's in the store, we're buying it. In this video right here, we bought everything in a store, and you guys really liked the video. So now we're doing it again, but with 5 stores.
You really want to buy everything in the store?
I'm being dead serious. We want to buy every single thing in your store, and we will pay the price.
It's all for sale, that's for sure.
Okay, so what happened in that video? Very beginning, in black and white text, with a weird, awkward picture of him.
I literally bought every single item in 5 stores.
Starting with this one. All right, boys, fill up the...
And then he's showing it. We're already in it. We can't help but want to watch all the way through. Plus, it's just that weird because nobody does that. So, of course, that's sort of inherent, and we watch that. But let me go over to some other videos that sort of do very similar things. And they're actually on my channel here. I realized that I'm on my Deep Pocket Monster channel, which is why it was playing ads, because I don't have premium on Deep Pocket Monster. But let's go to let's go to my channel, and I'm going to play a video that has performed very well, and I'll show you how we started it. And this is one that was published very recently. For 2 months now, I've gained over 40,000. So let me start one more time because it cut off. I've been on Clubhouse for 2 months now. I've gained over 40,000 subscribers, and I can say with confidence that Clubhouse is a tool that everybody should be taking advantage of. Gaining followers fast is awesome, but even more awesome are the connections that you can make, the business deals that could go down, and the credibility that you can earn for you and your brand. Plus, you might find yourself in a room with some really, really cool people too. In this video, I'm sharing 10 tips for winning on Clubhouse in 10 minutes, even if you're an introvert. And make sure you stick around to the end because I have a huge warning for you. Clubhouse actually can be quite dangerous. I want to make sure you don't fall into the same trap that I've seen a lot of other people fall into with this platform. Cool? Okay. So that was maybe a little bit longer than I wanted it to be, but it was very, very much, proof showed in the beginning with how I've been able to use Clubhouse already to hook people in, as well as just in this video. Let's just go over these 10 tips, right? Let's go to that Ecamm video, because that one actually did perform very well. Ecamm, or actually, what was it? Live streaming software for Mac. This one performed well right off the bat because I worked really, really hard on the intro. And remember, a person is coming here. We have to remember where they're coming from. They're coming from a place of wanting to find software that will be easy for them to use to stream to Mac. So right now you're looking at my regular camera view. However, if we push this out just a... Now you should see all the things I have at my disposal on my desktop that I see when I broadcast live. And when I conduct my live streams on Facebook and YouTube and Twitch or others, now I have access to making it the most entertaining, informative, and engaging live stream possible. And I want to offer that to you too. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to use a tool called Ecamm Live, which at this moment in time is just Mac only. I do have resources for PC users below too in the description, but I want to show you how to use these tools from all things like how to, while broadcasting, pop up a comment on your screen. So anyway, now I'm getting into some of the specifics that'll hold people in. But again, in this video, I said, in this video, I will show you this. Here's another one that did very well. It's a weird thing to search, but here's that video. 500,000 views. In this video, I want to share with you 15 new business ideas that you can start during this crisis that may allow you to build something brand new that you never thought possible. And we're going to do all of this in just 15 minutes. That's right, one business idea per minute. But before we get to that, we need to talk about what is happening right now. Recent data has shown that... Okay, so I hooked people in because I said, here's what we're going to do. 15 ideas in 15 minutes. Just kind of went right into it. I didn't even... I could have started with this, right? This is why this one probably performed even better than the other one that I did on Clubhouse, because I could have started where many people would start this video. Hey, we're in a pandemic right now. We, are going through some stuff. A lot of people are losing their jobs. I started with here in this video, because people already know that what's happening. I just started with here in this video. This is what you're going to get, right? So there's a few things that I'm doing here. Number one, I'm connecting the title and the thumbnail to the words that I'm saying at the beginning of the video. I want people to, when they click, to realize that, okay, they are indeed in the right spot. I am talking about the right things. Sometimes we start with a little bumper video with our brand and such. We're already wasting time. We don't need that. You can put a bumper in with your logo and such later, but I think that that's something that can be earned, but you shouldn't show that to people up front, because most people who watch your videos are not subscribers. This is a big thing to realize. Most people who watch your videos are not your subscribers. YouTube does not share your video with all of your subscribers. It depends on how much of your videos they've been watching as to whether or not they're actually getting notifications, and sometimes they're not even getting all the notifications. But when we find that our videos are growing, it's not because of our subscribers, it's because of the browse and the sort of search and the other external ways that you can get some video views too, in which case they don't care what your brand is about. They don't care the name of the YouTube channel. They want the information that they want to get, right? So that's number one. Number two, having some sort of proof or showing that, okay, you are not just talking the talk, but you're walking the walk, right? In Mr. Beast's video, he's literally in the store already buying everything and talking to the manager there. That's proof that he's not just doing this or saying this, he's actually doing it. On Clubhouse, on that video, I shared the sort of, situation that I'm in with Clubhouse and how it's growing my following and whatnot. In the Ecamm Live video, I'm right in it too. You need to help people understand that you're not just somebody who's talking about this stuff, but if you can show proof, the proof that you've done this before, it'll work really, really well. I want to show you Brian Dean. Brian Dean is somebody who's mastered this very, very well. Brian Dean from Backlinko, who is now approaching 407,000 subscribers, which is really cool. So pay attention to how he frames his videos. He's very formulaic, a little too formulaic for me, but it works. It works really, really well. So you'll notice that he'll tell you in this video, you're going to learn this. He shows you how he's done it himself, and then he'll give you a little bit of a teaser of what's coming. So watch this.
In this video, you're gonna learn how to get more traffic to your website fast. In fact, I've used these exact strategies to grow my site's traffic to over 180,000 visitors per month. Now, I should warn you, this video contains advanced strategies and tactics. So I'm not gonna repeat the same tips you've heard a million times already, like share your content on Facebook. Instead, you're gonna see advanced traffic techniques that work great. Keep watching.
I really, really love the way he framed that video too. Look at that, 30 seconds in, we know what the video's about and what it could do for me. We've seen that he's done this before. We saw a screenshot of it with an arrow. And number 3, he gave us a warning, which was really interesting. And actually, this is the first time I've seen this video. I've watched a lot of others of his. But the warning that is actually not a warning. It's actually of benefit to us. But warning helps us go, wait, what? What did you say? So if you missed that, let's watch it one more time. And then we'll watch another video of his so that you can see the same formula in motion.
In this video, you're gonna learn how to get more traffic to your website fast. In fact, I've used these exact strategies to grow my site's traffic to over 180,000 visitors per month. Now, I should warn you, this video contains advanced strategies and tactics. So I'm not gonna repeat the same tips you've heard a million times already, like share your content on Facebook.
What is he doing? He's basically saying this video is not like any other videos you'll see, so make sure you stick around. Plus, people would want the advanced stuff that they haven't heard before too for his audience, right? I think that was really smart. Let's go back and watch maybe one of his more recent videos, see if he's changed anything. So remember when we do like website reviews and such, nothing fancy up here, backlinko with Brian Dean in clear writing, higher rankings and more traffic. He's just literally, he's simplified everything to a point where it's almost like it doesn't even matter if it's Brian or not. But it doesn't matter if it's Brian or not to him. He's not building a personality-based YouTube channel. He's building an information-based YouTube channel. And what do you get with this information? Higher rankings and more traffic. You can't get any more clear than that. Okay, 2 days ago, the complete 2021 SEO guide and tutorial. How about my favorite free tools? This is a formula that a lot of us can use for different tools that we want to share with our audience. So let's watch this one.
In this video, I'm gonna show you my favorite SEO tools. The best part, every single tool on this list is 100% free. I'm Brian Dean, the founder of Backlinko, the place where marketers turn for higher rankings and more traffic. And if you're looking for tools that will help you get higher Google rankings, you'll love this video. Keep watching. The first tool on this list,
and then he just gets right into it. We're 18 seconds in, and I've already gotten one of the things that I've wanted. It looks like he's changed his color here, which is really interesting. How to get more traffic to your blog in 2021. Complete 2021 SEO guide. Let's see this one.
In this video, I'm gonna show you exactly how to rank your site in Google, step by step. In fact, I use the strategies from this video to rank on the first page of Google for insanely competitive keywords like on-page SEO, SEO tools, and link building. And in this SEO guide, I'm gonna show you exactly how I did it and how you can do the same thing. Stay tuned. Let me know if this sounds familiar to you. You wanna learn how to rank your site in Google. So you search for stuff like SEO tips and how to rank in Google. And you optimize your site.
So he's doing something interesting in here too, which you can use. Again, you don't have to use all these things, but these are sort of tools that you can use at your disposal. This idea of, hey, tell me if you've done this before. Right? That's a great way to connect with people very, 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 very early on. We're only 30 seconds in this video right now, and we're already connecting to Brian because he's like, hey, have you ever done this? And of course, if you choose something that much of your audience has already done, they're going to go, okay, I'm listening, right? But again, he uses that same formula. There's many different ways to do it, but this is basically the skeleton. Brian's just doing the bare minimum, but it's working. And you can add a little bit more to it. You can, talk a little bit more and tease a little bit more about what's coming. But you saw in his advanced SEO video that he's doing the same thing too. So I hope it was helpful to see that because he's definitely got he's got a lot of things going on. I think Inspirational by Marie says not many people use green, so he's doing that purposefully. Again, he's making all of his thumbnails because again, it's very informational. All of his thumbnails look basically the same. And what happens is when people see one video and they see a thumbnail for another one in the sidebar, they know that it's another video of his. When another one pops up and it's green, it stands out, right? So there you go. A lot of people talking about PS4 for some reason. Cool. Okay, So what else can we talk about in the beginning of our video to get people to stick around? For me, this warning thing that Brian did, I did that in my Clubhouse video, except it was actually a negative warning versus sort of a warning flipped on its head, like what Brian did, which I thought was interesting. I might see if I can experiment with something like that. And that's exactly what we should be doing. We should be experimenting. The metrics that you want to pay attention to, I want to take you into YouTube right now because this is where we begin to learn whether or not this stuff is working. So I'm going to take you into my YouTube studio. Here we are on the back end now. And I'm going to go to Analytics. Now in Analytics, I want to look at the individual videos, right? I want to look at the individual videos. So in fact, if I go to content, it might be easier to do that. And let's just take, for example, the video that I did recently on passive income, which has been performing fairly well. And as I talk a little bit more to wait, because sometimes when we stream, the stuff takes a little bit longer, I'm going to install. There we go. So here we go. 5 passive income strategies and how to start with each. So right here, we can see, okay, views are up, 79% more viewers than usual are finding this video on sources outside of YouTube. Interesting. So I want to look at reach first. Reach is impressions. That's how many times YouTube has served this out to other people. Impression rates, or click-through rate, excuse me, is how many times these people are actually clicking through. And that's what's most important right now. You can almost see the funnel here. They literally give you a funnel, right? 37,000 people, 1,000 people click. Now, this thumbnail is, I would say, average. 3% is average. You want to go above average if possible. If I were to go to the, will this show me, search across my channel? Let's go to the live streaming software. So here's this one. Let's go to analytics for the live streaming software one that I shared with you earlier. So let's click on reach. 3.4% click-through rate, which is a little higher, right? And it moves up and down over time, but over time you'll see that, 1.7 million impressions, which is pretty cool. So a little bit better. Let's see if we can find one that gets an even higher click-through rate. Let's go to, this one has been doing very well. 2021 business ideas revealed. This is a video that has recently been doing extremely well. I think many of you were here when I actually filmed this video and planned it with you, and it's actually taking off right now even more. We're at 144,000 views, and this is the one where you might remember the stream that I titled Crafting the Next 100,000 View Video, and here it is. So if I go to reach now, look at the click-through rate. 6.8%. 6.8%. There's a reason why YouTube continues to push this out. They're pushing it out because it has a very high click-through rate. Again, thumbnail and title. Now, of course, this is a 2021 business video. We are here at the early part of the year, so that's definitely helping me. And that was purposeful. Let's find some other videos before you start a video podcast. Let's analyze this one. So thumbnail says, before you start a video podcast, I have a camera and a microphone and a look as if something went wrong, right? The title of this video is The Truth About Video Podcasting. And look, it's actually getting picked up right now even more, which is really cool. Let's look at the reach. 4% click-through rate. So that's good. Any 4% and above is sort of where you want to try to land. 4% and above is kind of where you want to land. Now let's talk about that's the sort of click part. Let's talk about the stick part. So if I go to overview and I scroll down, you'll see that YouTube will give you key moments of this video. Literally give you key moments. So average view duration, 5 minutes and 31 seconds, about 50%. That's good. That's actually really good on YouTube to have half the amount of people stick around to the end, essentially, which is really, really good. Now, I can see here that there is a immediate drop-off, but there's always going to be an immediate drop-off, and an immediate drop-off of about 25% within the first sort of intro here is okay. 73% of viewers still watching around the 30-minute or 30-second mark. This is higher than typical compared to your other recent content. Nicely done. So this tells me that it actually is this dropping off not as bad as perhaps some others. So let's look at another video and see perhaps how they're dropping off. So let's go to analytics. Let's scroll down. Look at that drop off right there. Not good. 48% of viewers are still watching. This is typical. So now this tells me, okay, what happened in this video versus what happened in the other video. So after 30 seconds, half the people are already gone. Let's watch this video and see if we can find why that happened. Hey, what's up? It's Pat here. And wouldn't it be great if you could generate money on autopilot? Well, that's what we call passive income. And it's sort of the holy grail of income generation because you don't need to do a lot of work in order to generate an income, but it takes a lot of work to get to that point. If you're expecting 5 simple strategies to make money tomorrow passively without doing any work, then I'm sorry, goodbye. This is not the place to get that. I want to tell you the truth about how all this stuff works. I've been doing... Okay, so chat, why do you think people left so quickly in this video in particular? Very curious to hear what you think, and I'll pop this up. So I'll tell you that the reason is because I told people that this was hard. Looking back, this video could have performed better if I saved that stuff till the end. And you know me, I try to be always honest and upfront with people, but I also know that I'm not now able to help people because I said that up front. People do want to make money tomorrow. You're exactly right, Justin. So I could have done a little bit more thinking and actually put that at the end. I still want to say it, but if I were to put that at the end, then yeah, there you go. So that's why people left. Let's look at that other video, the one that actually has held people for quite long, and that is the truth about video podcasting. I'm going to go into the analytics again so we can see that again. And let's play the first 30 seconds and see what I did to hold people in this time.
Video podcasting. What is it? How does it work? Is it worth the time and effort to just turn on a camera and film something that is primarily meant for an audio format? Hey, my name is Pat Flynn, and I'm here to help make content creation easier, more fun, and profitable. And I hold the #1, at least currently, video tutorial on how to start an audio podcast with over 1 million views. But that's just the audio format. The #1 question people are asking me these days is, Pat, well, what about video? Does it make sense to turn on the camera and record a video version of your podcast too? Can you just start with video, rip out the audio, and use that as an audio podcast? Can you take your existing audio podcast and add video on top of it? Can you just take clips from your show, pop some video on them, and put them onto YouTube? Well, the answer isn't as simple as likely you expect it to be. So today I'm going to help you understand more about video podcasting, all the ins and outs of it, how to make sure that if this is something that you are actually doing, that you don't waste your time and money. And make sure you stick around to the end because I'm going to show you a way to do this, a format that will make it so much easier for you to get the most results.
I must say, it's probably one of the best intros I've ever done. Now in the beginning, let's play the very beginning again, the part that got people to stick around. And let's see if I can scroll to the beginning.
Video podcasting.
#1, video podcasting. Said it right up front. That's a keyword, so I made sure to bring it in literally right up front.
What is it? How does it work?
Now I have B-roll of very famous video podcasts like Joe Rogan with Elon Musk.
Is it worth the time and effort to just turn on a camera and film something?
Now here I am doing a very similar situation to Joe Rogan and Elon Musk. I am interviewing MKBHD, Marques Brownlee. Now, the interesting thing about this particular shot that you're seeing right here is this shot doesn't actually exist. I did record a video while recording this podcast with MKBHD, but it was not side by side. It was actually, you know, the switching cameras. It was not a side by side situation, but we made it side by side because we knew that that would then sort of reflect this video podcasting thing and show how I was actually speaking with somebody recognizable.
That is primarily meant for...
I'm also asking questions that are probably on the same minds as everybody watching.
For an audio format. Hey, my name is Pat Flynn, and I'm here to help make content creation easier,
now
more
I have
fun,
my
and
intro.
profitable. And I hold the #1, at least currently, video to...
Now there's proof, right? So I'm getting into the heads of these people, and I knew that this video would hit very well because anytime I've talked about video podcasting, people always ask me questions about it. It's a very popular topic on Clubhouse and whatnot. So this video performed very well. And we were able to hold a lot of people at the beginning. So that's telling me something. That's telling me that perhaps I should start videos with asking questions and showing proof while doing so. And trying to get into the heads of the audience before I get into in this video, you're going to learn this, right? For example, in the Clubhouse video that I did, I could probably approach it as, so you've probably heard of Clubhouse and you're probably wondering what all the fuss is about. Maybe you're on Clubhouse and you're trying to get the most out of it, but you feel like it's maybe a wasted time. In this video, I'm going to share 10 tips to help you win on Clubhouse in 10 minutes so that you can blah, 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 right? That would probably work a little bit better than what I did before. The only way to learn how to improve back in the future, though, is to go back to your older videos, just like I'm doing right now. Look at the metrics. The metrics tell a story. The story here was a good one with this particular thing, not that, with this particular thing. But the story in my other video showed that people didn't want to hear that this was hard. So that's something to obviously keep in mind. I'm actually working on another passive income video right now about passive income mistakes, and I'm doing, and I'm actually, keeping those things in mind. Cool. What do you think about switching to all live, no editing, just live videos? It's not going to help you grow your show. Trust me. I've done live for the last, 339 days. It has done very little to grow the YouTube channel. Unless you are a celebrity like Joe Rogan, growth with just live alone is going to be very difficult because people aren't on YouTube to watch for hours. They are on YouTube to get answers to small questions and to get entertained. And that's very difficult to do in a very, very big live setting like that. You can take clips from those lives and turn them into little short clips, however, and that could work out too. Anthony says, the breakdown of Brian Dean's and your videos are awesome. Thank you. Absolutely. Thank you. Cool. So I'm hoping that this video is something that shares with you some insight on things that you can do to further your experience here on YouTube. From the click to the stick to the analytics. And the analytics, again, is very, very important. You got to get in there. You got to ask, well, why did that happen? And go back to your videos, watch them. I know you don't like watching your own videos. I don't. But go in there because there's a story being told. You need to uncover what that story is. So hopefully that helps. Thank you so much. We're gonna end the show today. I got office hours for my students in just a moment here, but just again, very grateful for your time and attention today. Tomorrow is Friday, which means we're gonna have Friday Fun Day. We're gonna give away some prizes, play some games. We have a new game now, like Blank Slate, that we can play, that we can add to the wheel. We're gonna give away a prize and go from there. So we'll see you tomorrow at, let me give you the time. The time tomorrow will be, it will be, let's do, we're gonna do noon Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. Noon Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern. Noon Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern. Cool. All right. Thank you so much for today. I appreciate you all coming in and listening and learning, and hopefully this has been valuable to you. Hit that thumbs up button before you go because that really helps out the channel. Thank you so much, and we'll see you tomorrow at noon Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern here for some fun and games, prizes, and more. Thanks so much. Take care, and as always, Team Flynn for the win.
This is the income stream to help you achieve your dream. All while we keep it clean. This is the income stream. It's the kind of show where you can come and go, but then you leave inspired with no fee required. The income stream with Pat Flynn.
All right, let's go. Thank you so much for today. I appreciate you, and I'm always down to hang out. And we're approaching that year long of doing the stream, which is insane. So keep up the good work. Take care. Peace out. You're awesome.
Bruh.